Bandar Al Swadi coming from Qatar. Well, now we'll take a look at the starting lineups. We will begin with Adroit. I just imagine with Leon Kwek being their leading scorer, will he be in action tonight? Because there is Ihor Sodiev, the youngster coming from Ukraine. Because has the potential to be very good for this team, but Torlok Ya will be in the backcourt. He'll play alongside Larry Liu. Well, one of their key players from last night, or 2 nights ago, I should say, Wang Jonghan. Kolchenko and Sergei Primak, the 2 Ukrainian imports, will be in the starting lineup. Well, he knows it's been a tough test for them, no doubt about it, but it's all a learning curve. Head coach Chun Hong-Eng, who's native of Singapore, and knows the competition he's up against at this level. Well, now we'll focus our attentions to High Tech Basketball Club, and many of these players do feature for Thailand's national team, as we did see them in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Well, Moses Morgan naturally does come off the bench, as well as Amani Watkins, Natakam Muangboon, along with Maximus Williams and Janitip Jakarwan. So no Manny Ajesu or Michael Singletary in the starting lineup tonight here for High Tech. Head coach Pachakorn Latkul probably feels that the 2 games they did lose here at home against Broncos and New Taipei Kings, they probably could have won those and would have put them in much better position to try and finish in the top 2 here in group. But they must win tonight, because the only thing they can hope for, New Taipei Kings already booking their spot for the Final Four, is to win that 4-point deficit head-to-head against Mongolia's Broncos. Well, we are now moments away from tip-off live here in Bangkok, Thailand. The home crowd have never lost hope. They've come in every night. They've shown their support. And probably they'll want to finish this window with at least a second victory. Well, they've had to play Adroit 2 times, along with playing New Taipei Kings and the Broncos. So 4 games in total, which is usually what's actually 1 game more than every other host club who's hosted so far here in BCL Asia East. But because it's a joint host venue of both Adroit and High Tech, they've had to play each other on 2 occasions. Well, hope is still in the air. The last time they played each other, it was a 48-point victory to High Tech. And they'll be looking for something very similar here tonight, because that was a very dominating victory. And High Tech, well, in that night, they converted 45 field goals out of 81. In the end, missing 23 pointers, but making 16 of them. I think it's fair to say every time we've seen High Tech, whether it was back in Chinese Taipei or here in their hometown, I should say, they're definitely a volume 3-point shooting team. Well, time to get the selfies out. And remember, if you're watching this game live on FIBA's official YouTube platform, please make sure you hit the like button on this live stream, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube, and follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. Well, Sergei Primak has been one of the key players, as mentioned, one of their most efficient players so far here in BCL Asia East. Because they're going to need a very big performance tonight from him. Because his first line of duty is probably going to have to match up with Janitip Jakarwan. Well, there he is, the big man. Will be playing alongside Amani Watkins here in the first quarter. Natakam Muangboon. Well, pretty much the Thai national team coming out for the starting lineup, with the exception of Watkins. Moses Morgan was one of the key players, and Freddie Leash was actually Thailand's leading scorer in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Well, Jongham won. Could have been a hero when they played. I mean, the closest they've had so far here in BCL Asia East was that game against New Taipei Kings. It was only later in the 4th quarter where they just couldn't seem to get a good offense, couldn't seem to hang in there. Well, the difference right now coming into this game, Adroit's had 1 day rest. Can they take advantage? Can they find a way and get that first victory? Remember, if Adroit do the impossible and they win here tonight, that would mean The final 4 spots in Group B would go to both the Broncos and to New Taipei Kings, who have already qualified. Welcome, everybody. Live here in Bangkok, Thailand. We'll get this one underway. BCL Asia East, final game here of Windows 2 and 3. Well, High Tech will probably want to get this going early on. Different lineup as Natakam Muangbun trying to go down to Watkins. There's a penetration again. No help side defense as Maximus Williams going straight to the bucket. Well, nice response there from Adroit, and that's how they've got to play very quickly. Wong Jong Han. It was a very inspiring performance he had against New Taipei Kings. If they can get something quickly, as now they find Janatip Jakawan again. Nobody coming out to switch. Well, it's almost like Adroit just gifting High Tech early buckets inside the paints. Well, they make one extra pass. Larry Liu in the corner. Three's not going to go. Premack contesting for the rebound, but Watkins comes out with it. And now Muang Bun. He's able to go the length of the floor, finding Williams. And that three is just a little too overeager. Goes out of bounds. Oh, no, it doesn't go out of bounds. Muang Bun will get a second chance. Well, quite an overzealous attempt there by Muang Bun. Probably could have been a little bit more patient. It's now Kolchenko. Of course, the highlight of his career representing his national team of Ukraine at the 2017 FIBA Eurobasket. And Adroit already turning it over. Confidence not looking good here for the team from Singapore. Watkins going down low to Jackrawan. Now kicks this one back out, but Watkins has time and space. Third three of the first quarter here for the High Tech, but unable to finish. Because the team naturally does take between 30 and 43 points per game as Kolchenko makes it. He gives Adroit a 1-point lead. Well, he's got to have a big game tonight. Already, Jackrawan going in, throwing it down with two hands. And Adroit, at the moment, I don't think they've come ready to play. Too many easy buckets given away. Wong Jong Han, it's going to be a kickball violation. Adroit will get this back on the sideline. Well, there was a dunk again by Janatip Jackrawan. You know, nobody picks him up, and Muang Bun, that's got to be the easiest pass of his career. Another three goes flying. Premack's able to try to tip that one back into the hands of his teammates. Now for a post-up. Pulls up from 15, front iron. And Adroit haven't been the most successful at contesting for offensive rebounds here in BCL Asia East. High Tech patiently trying to find something good. Williams off one screen. Well, step back. Can he make the first three? An offensive rebound. And Jackrawan missing. But a foul is going to be called against Premack. Well, already Adroit giving away too many second chance opportunities. And that's not a good sign for the team from Singapore. They've got to do a better job. Well, it's already 2 offensive rebounds for High Tech. Janatip Jackrawan, of course, was the face of the Thai national team as the #1 center. If you go back 4 years ago to the 2021 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Second free throw good. 3-point lead currently to High Tech. Of course, with the exception of Amani Watkins, as mentioned, High Tech's current 5 on the floor, 4 of them do feature for Thailand's national team. Well, timeout looks like it's going to be called. These two teams will talk it over, and I think this one's going to be called by Adroit. Well, a lot to think about, but I think the one key talking point in this timeout is, #1, we've got to go for second chances. #2, we've got to stop giving them away. Well, we will return from this timeout in under 60 seconds. Well, again, welcome back, everybody, live here in Bangkok, Thailand. Final game of this Group B. Windows 2 and 3 joint hosted by these two teams, High-Tech of Bangkok, Thailand, and Adroit of Singapore. Of course, Adroit probably no chance of qualifying for the BCL Asia East Final Four. And a venue yet to be decided for that Final Four, in which we'll find out the two teams that will go to the 2025 FIBA Basketball Champions League Asia. Because it's going to be an exciting year. We'll see the champions of the Japan's B-League, Korea's KBL, China's CBA, the Philippines PBA, as well as the two very best from the FIBA Vassal. 3-point ball game, Adroit. Now a 7 here on the shot clock. Hesitation as a kick out. Wide open threes up, and they level things up at 8 apiece. Well, beautifully iced away the penetration, finding a wide open Lock Yao Tor. Adroit currently 2 out of 4 from the 3-point line. Something they're definitely going to live and die by tonight is now Muang Bun fires the 3. Finally keeping Janatip Jakarwan off the offensive rebounds. Adroit could take the lead for the second time this evening. Another 3 goes flying. It's not a bad look, but again, you want someone like Premack or whoever just to go in and contest for an offensive rebound. I'm not sure how I feel about the defense because Jakarwan got the easy seal-off. Larry Liu, number 11, almost conceded giving him the easy 2 points. Well, it's another careless turnover. And now, High-Tech have numbers. Morgan goes in way too easy. Uncontested. Krop Kun, as they would say in Thailand. Now stretching it to a 2-possession ball game. Mid-range goes up. Premack trying to get offensive rebounds. Unable to secure this one. Jakarwan high post. Now thinking about a dump entry down low to Amani Watkins. As now Williams goes in, but doesn't get the right angle, but another offensive board is Jakarwan. Well, he is having a buffet now on the offensive rebounding. Extending it to a 6-point lead. Well, that's a nice penetration. No foul called. And no effort to get back on defense. High-Tech have numbers. Can they get the first 3? It's up. Still just unable to convert from the perimeter. Kolchenko looking to push this one. Now goes for a quick 3 in the corner. Goes out of bounds, so Adroit will get it back. Well, you can see it's a very quick 3. It doesn't seem to be too much of a rhythm on offense at the moment for Adroit. As now Ching Huang To subbing into the game for the first time for Adroit. Was now High-Tech's leading scorer Michael Singletary subbing in for the first time, leading this team with plus 20 points per game here in BCL Asia East. Lin Jae Shea also backup point guard. Makes a penetration, goes in, and again it's a good look, but he's unable to finish. But those are the kind of moves Adroit have got to go for. Good hands by Jakarwan, goes in, simply too unstoppable. Thai national team player Janatip Jakarwan at the moment dominating here, giving them an 8-point lead. Well, Jakarwan already has 12 points, and everything is coming inside the paint. Another 3 goes for Adroit, and that's way off the mark. Adroit now attempting 7 3-pointers here in the first quarter. They have made 2 of them. Wambut now trying to work around the screen. Finds Watkins, goes in, and again, easy little jump hook inside the paint. Well, that was patiently executed by Natakor and Wambut. First time tonight, High-Tech do have a double-digit lead here in the first quarter. Lin Jae Shea finds Premack, and he misses from point-blank range. Well, we've seen that a few times here in this window. Goes the rim, not quite friendly in terms of those Jump hooks, but it goes out of bounds. And High Tech will get this one back with 3:05 to go in the first quarter. Well, Freddie Leash, the man who led this team against New Taipei Kings yesterday, hitting 6 3-pointers out of 14. Or 15, I should say. Of course, born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Spent the majority of his career playing here in Thailand since the early 2010s. Well, again, Williams, another 3. This one rolls in and out. They're getting good looks, but not knocking him down at the moment. Kolchenko's made 1 3. And nothing falling here for Adroit. And then you've got to ask the question, where are the points going to come from the team from Singapore? Leash working the screen. Watkins kicks out. Not going to go for the 3-pointer. Finding Singletary. Watkins inside the paint. Beautiful passing by High Tech. And in the end, more points inside the key. Adroit just gifting and giving High Tech every early opportunity. And nothing seems to be quite contested enough to really solidify their defense. Kolchenko forces up another 3, and this one's good. Hitting his second one, and that cuts it back down to 9 points. Because if you see the way these two teams are playing now, you would have imagined or assumed that Adroit had played yesterday. Watkins another 3. High Tech right now 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. Now Kolchenko. Looking for another 3. It's way off the mark. Tries to chase his own rebound, but it goes out of bounds. And High Tech will retain. Nine-point lead, just over 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Biggest lead of the game for High Tech at the moment has indeed been 12 points. Because they have attempted 7 threes, but a foul is going to be called against Lin J. Shea. That's his first personal tonight, second team foul against Adroit. Well, High Tech will inbound this one. As now Williams finding Freddie Leash. Leash pulls off from 19. Rebound falling to his hands. Now Singletary. He'll fire a 3. Well, it just hasn't been quite a... Well, even though they are leading by 9 points. Now make that 0 for 9 from the 3-point line here for High Tech in the first quarter. Well, they don't care how they do it. They just got to make sure they win tonight. Pick up that second victory. As now Sodiev catching a tough pass. Finding Lin J. Shea. He'll pull up for a big 3, can't get it. And the offensive rebound. And finally, for the first time tonight, Adroit getting second chance points. Naqib Borhan has played limited minutes so far here in BCL Asia East. And Adroit come back up with it. Trying to go quickly, but they turn it over as they went for the spectacular. But you can't fault them for that. I mean, I like the idea. As you can see on that play, Ching Huang Ta, number 29 for Adroit, trying to run quickly. But High Tech's transition defense, well, they anticipated that one very well. Leash going to another ball screen. Now going for a one-legged fadeaway. Somehow finds the shooter's roll. Back to a 9-point lead. Adroit can have the final shot here in the first quarter. Lin J. Shea. Almost gets his pocket picked. And he turns it over. Leash comes up with it. Puts this one up. Well, it goes off the backbone, but it doesn't count. And High Tech, in a must-win game for them, regardless how many they win by, they've got to ensure they pick up the second victory to give them hope to battle against that head-to-head against the Broncos when we go to Mongolia in only 4 days' time. Well, we're going to show you some of the key statistics here from the first quarter, and then we will run back the top highlights so far. BCL Asia East, final game here in Group B of Windows 2 and 3. We'll be back in just under 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Bangkok, Thailand. Windows 2 and 3 of BCL Asia East, joint hosted by the two very teams that are playing tonight, Adroit of Singapore and High Tech of Thailand. Well, it is a 9-point lead currently to High Tech, but, you know, considering they do have the lead, well, they haven't shot very well from the perimeter. The team that does is a volume 3-point shooting team. They're 0 out of 10 at the moment, but they're 10 out of 24 from inside the rainbow. Well, Premack pump fakes. One hand inside the paint, way off the mark, can't get it. High Tech looking to extend to a double-digit lead. We like this now from Ihor Tsuriev, trying to make the post-entry passes a lot more tough. Trying to be physical. 11 3-point attempt and still just can't finish. But another offensive rebound. We'll make that offensive rebound number 6 for High Tech. And a traveling violation is going to be called. Well, that's the right call. There's no arguments. And Jaisanuk, another Thai national team player, just getting caught there by picking up his pivot foot. Well, no foul called there on Freddie Leash. Trying to go for a jumper. Premack now getting another offensive board here. Through in the corner. Well, that's a good look. That's not a bad offense. The three-pointer was wide open. High percentage one. But now they've got to defend down by 9. And after 12 attempts, finally, Singletary getting the first three-pointer of the game here for High Tech, giving them, for the second time, a 12-point cushion. And what a move! What a tough play going to the basket by Justin Yuejun Chiam. And another 3. And now it's becoming contagious. Of course, Freddie Leash did hit 6 last night out of 15 against the new Taipei Kings. Well, another forced effort. Biggest lead of the game currently here for High Tech at 13, but they can further extend this. Nice play down the middle, goes in way too easy, and the defense didn't see it coming. Oh, what a dime coming from Singletary. Simple bounce pass, that time finding Chatball Chung Yampid. And now it's a 15-point lead. Now Kid Boardhat forcing up the three-pointer. Remember, the last time these two teams met, it was a 48-point victory for High Tech. The foul's going to be called against Sergei Premack. Well, another 3 goes flying. Because they are currently 2 out of 13 from the perimeter. But even with the 15-point lead, they won't be complaining here at the moment. As long as High Tech win tonight, they'll give themselves a chance going into the final window of potentially joining new Taipei Kings at the Final Four. Oh, Lin Jae Shea, because hasn't hit a three-pointer so far here in BCL Asia East. That's the first one he's made. That cuts it down to 12. Well, Adroit did show against new Taipei Kings that they can compete. But right now, defensively, they're just being pulled apart by High Tech. And again, same scenario. Deja vu. Singletary getting the assist. Now Premack responding very quickly. And that's much better from Adroit. Singletary pump fakes. 7 now on the shot clock for the former Taipei Fubon Braves player. Good hands by Tsuriev, and Adroit can push. Premack makes one more pass. Wide open 3 is up. Wow, that's a good one. But that's where somebody like Lin Jae Shea, number 0's got to go in and crash for an offensive board. It cannot just be the bigs for Adroit that have got to have the rebounding duties. Well, Leash crosses over, kicks this one out. Can they go for 3, number 3? Third three-pointer not going to go at the moment here for High Tech. Well, nice little hesitation move. Finds Premack, goes in, and he doesn't get the and one. Well, Watkins unable to get the and one, but he will go to the free throw line. Chance now to extend it back to a 9-point lead. This is positive now from Adroit. The positive play for them, keeping it below double digits going into the halftime break is going to be crucial. Because Watkins hasn't played as much as he has this evening so far here in BCL Asia East. Well, good experience for him tonight to get some more minutes. Because you know that final game against the Broncos is going to be crucial. They lost by 4 points. And all they'll have to do is win this game and then beat the Broncos by 5 to ensure a Final Four spot. Well, Lin J. Shea going in, draws a foul. Now, also, the Broncos would also have to lose to New Taipei Kings. And, of course, High Tech would have to hope that Adroit does them a favor. Which would be a very big ask, to say the least. But that's a positive move by Adroit's number 0, Lin J. Shea. Of course, in the 4 games he's played, he's usually playing about 10 minutes per game. He's not naturally a dominant scorer. Second free throw good. Now down to a 5-point deficit, 5:09. Well, what a story it would be if Adroit got their first win tonight and broke the hearts of every Thai basketball fan here tonight in Bangkok. Ching Hua To subbing back into the game. He's only played just over 4 minutes. Number 29 for Adroit. Singletary. Now getting a handoff. Well, getting his pocket picked. Now here comes Adroit. There's a spin. Another kick out. Another penetration. Avoids the block, but he misses from point blank range. The presence of Amani Watkins, making that a tough one. High-Tech going for a three. Premack battles for it. Another chance. Down the middle goes in, and an uncontested layup. And a nice finish by Moses Morgan, another player of the Thai national team. And it's back to a 7-point ball game. Kolchenko now calling a double team off the ball screen. Has to give this one up. Well, that is a deep, deep three. That's not going to go in Adroit. Just when they were starting to build momentum. Now can go down by 9. Well, they come up with it. Freddie Leash, way too casual. But Adroit unable to capitalize. They should have got something quicker. Premack quick turnaround. And nobody goes in for an offensive board. Well, you probably feel they could do a little bit better in their offense if they're just a bit more patient. Because if they are going to go to a half-court set offense, they may want to set a few ball screens. Huang Jingtuo fouled quite hardly, so 3:34 to go here in the first half. Still a 7-point lead to High-Tech. This is still going to be a mountain to climb for High-Tech, even with a victory tonight if they ought to get it. Another three for Adroit. Because haven't quite had the same success tonight from the three-point line as they did the other night, but High-Tech turned it over. Kolchenko makes a quick pass, and it's back to a 5-point deficit. Well, it's becoming quite a sloppy game for both these two teams. Well, Morgan goes for a post-up, and again, just simply bullies his way to the bucket. Well, the reach came from Huang To. And that reach, that gamble just proved to be too costly for Adroit. And now he'll go for a three. And that's way off the mark. But Adroit saved this one from going out of bounds. And Huang To makes up for it. Well, it fell into the hands of Premack. And Huang To just made that cut to the bucket. Another three hit for High-Tech and making the third one of the game. And extending the lead to 8 points. Well, now they're 3 out of 18. That time, Nakorn Jacek made a three. As, well, again, Huang To. Now, was that a three or did he have his foot in the line? That's a three. Well, he's played some big moments here so far for Adroit. And now Freddie Leash exchanging buckets from the perimeter. And he'll go to the charity stripe for the 4-point play. Well, now you feel the game is just building that rhythm, that identity, that momentum. Well, Huang To, who made the defensive blunder just 2 plays ago, then made up for it. Now, unfortunately, I think there was too much anticipation with the screen. Probably should have stayed with Freddie Leash. Of course, very well experienced player. Was the leading scorer for Thailand in the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Of course, it was heartbreak for Thailand, unable to qualify for the Asia Cup. Kolchenko's made 2 threes. So you have offensive rebound. Kolchenko goes for a Euro step and he throws it out of bounds. Well, that's a case there. That's a good penetration. But what you would want to see from Adroit, it's Lok Yao Toi he's trying to kick out to. You can't be static in the corner. I mean, he's made 2 3-pointers tonight already for Adroit. Flat to the free throw line extended. Make yourself an option. Leash hesitates. Tries to go behind the back, but it's intercepted. Because now we have 90 seconds to go here in the first half. Another 3 for Adroit in the corner. But Morgan secures the rebound. High-Tech want to go up again by double figures. Nice pass, but Watkins unable to secure this, and it goes out of bounds. And unfortunately for High-Tech, make that turnover number 7 of the evening. Because that's something they did struggle with the new Taipei Kings. Too many unnecessary turnovers. Kolchenko mid-range. High arc goes in. He's got 8 points tonight. The former Ukrainian national team player most likely won't play for them this summer at the Eurobasket. But he's got 8 points here in BCL Asia East. And it's another high-tech turnover. Singletary trying to find Watkins. They got numbers. Sudiev goes in, and he throws it down. The 4-0 run from Adroit now making it a 5-point deficit. And Adroit at the moment just showing a little bit more fight. Well, this is what you want to see from them. A team who has yet to win a game. Jicek made his last 3. He's not going to get this one. And now 2 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Adroit will probably want to get the final play. Sudiev, bit of contact. Counted! He's going to the free throw line. The young Ukrainian has come ready to play, basketball fans. And now he can make it a 2-point deficit with 17.4 left here in the second quarter. Of course, in his youth career, spent a bit of time in Serbia with Megabasket, the team that developed one Nikola Jokic, but he's unable to convert the 3-point play. High-Tech will get the final play. Singletary got it by Tsinghua Tong, but it's way too easy for Mike Singletary. Well, he thought he should be getting it at 1. And that is the end of the first half, where High-Tech Basketball Club of Bangkok, Thailand, the joint hosts of this window along with Adroit, lead by 5 points. And Mike Singletary still negotiating with the referee, or still arguing, I should say. He felt he should be going to the free throw line. Well, look at this from Sudiev. The two-handed rim rocker. Oh, young fella. Throw it down, big man. Throw it down. Well, we're going to take a break. We will be back in just under 14 minutes. We'll leave you with some of the top highlights here from the first half. This is the BCL Asia East Group B fixture between Adroit of Singapore and High-Tech Basketball Club of Thailand. Because see, one area of weakness that Adroit have been very lucky with tonight. High Tech haven't converted as many three-pointers as we are accustomed to seeing them do. But that can all change here in the second half. BCL Asia East, a total of 8 teams, 2 groups, 24 games, 5 windows. The 5th and final window will be coming up in Mongolia in a few days' time. As Manny Ajesu checks into the game for the first time tonight. And doesn't begin well with a turnover. So Adroit will get a chance to again chip into the deficit. They led twice tonight. That was in the first quarter, but they haven't led since. Quick three coming up. The foul's going to be called on Nakib Borhan. Well, no foul called. It's a jump ball violation, so a jump ball called. Possession arrow going in favor. There's a three-pointer. So Borhan timed that one well because that could have easily been called a foul. Kolchenko's made 2 threes. Rebound coming into the hands of Janitip Jakarwan. While missing the wide open dunk. And I don't know if Kolchenko meant to do that on purpose or... There's the bump, there's the jump hook, but again, still failing to convert. I'd say Janitip Jakarwan's opportunity was the easiest one. Is now Moses Morgan for 3. And that's way off the mark. Both teams scoreless here in the first minute of the third quarter. Nice give and go play. And finally gets the first 2 points of the second half. Well, Ching Hua Tong had some good moments offensively. It's the defense where he's made some blunders tonight. But it is a 3-point game. Nice give and go. Morgan, wide open layup. No help side defense coming to come in. Kolchenko turns it over. Moan Boom pulls up for 3. It would be the 4th one for High Tech. But it goes out of bounds off Sodiev, and High Tech will get it back on the baseline. Of course, High Tech have only had a total of 25 rebounds in this game. 6 offensive boards in total for High Tech. Well, there was the missed dunk by Janitip Jakarwan. Another penetration again. The help side defense. You might need to look in the lost and found because Adroit, it's nowhere to be seen. As Maximus Williams now getting his 2nd field goal of the game. Another 3 for Adroit. Just not folding like they did against New Taipei Kings. 7-point lead to High Tech. Juan Boone making a tough pass as Ajesu looking for a give and go. Morgan goes in around and giving them a 9-point cushion. And Adroit's defense very lackluster here tonight here in the second half. Kolchenko goes in. He's unable to get the ab 1. But he'll go to the charity stripe and a chance to cut it back down to 7. He's got 8 points tonight. His first trip to the free throw line here for Adroit this evening. Well, the Ukrainian international veteran player, 37 years old. This is probably their best player, there's no argument. Not quite the top leading scorer, but you can see when he's on the floor, the offense just clicks a lot better in the backcourt. Morgan going to a screen. Good seal out by Jakarwan, the man who dominated in the first quarter. That's his first field goal since the first quarter. Leading scorer tonight, Janitip Jakarwan with 14. Kolchenko turns this one over. Good defense by, oh no, gets it back. Well, misses the layup, and well, Sodiev goes in for the second chances now. Not the Goy Muang Bun. Williams pump fakes inside the key, and he puts it back now to a double-digit lead to High Tech. Well, the Thai Gladiator Well, Adroit, you know they want to go from the perimeter. There's another three-point attempt. He's made 2 tonight. He's unable to get a third one. Kolchenko pump fakes. Another kick out. Another 3 here for Adroit. Well, they're getting good looks. Penetrations, kickouts. But they're just not dropping tonight. Finds a Jesu, goes in. Count it. He's going to the free throw line. Well, foul's going to be called on Adroit's number 99, Nakib Borhan. That's going to be his first personal foul of the game. And indeed, Manny Jesu's first field goal. Last time these two teams met, High Tech won by 48 points. It was Manny Jesu who picked up the Player of the Game award. .13 lead, biggest lead of the game here in the second half. But a nice little penetration down the left side and easily tucked away by Adroit's number 10, Jong Han Wong, who I would argue was the best player in that game against New Taipei Kings 2 nights ago. Well, hand in the cookie jar, contesting the pass, and is able to finish the layup. Now it's back down to single digits, a 4-0 run from Adroit. Well, he turned it over again. Well, here was a layup. Lok Toyao making that one. And a very clumsy play. And it's not the first time we've seen High Tech do that this evening. And all this does is give Adroit slight belief that they can just try to hang in there. Tries to hang with the defense. Sodiev unable to get the offensive rebound. Morgan takes this one from him. Well, High Tech don't want to be too casual. They want to close this game out as quick as possible. Jesu one more time, the big fella, the Thai beast, with another ab one. But can he convert the three-point play this time? Young prospect, 20 years old. Because you remember watching him play for Thailand at the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, and this time he converts the three-point play. 5 points tonight for big man Manny Jesu. Well, Lin Jae Shea checking into the game for the first time here in the second half, because he made his first three-pointer in BCL Asia East this evening. He's able to stop that one from being a turnover. Heavily defended by Natakorn Muangbun. And he gets his pocket picked. High Tech come up with it. Oh, Lin Jae Shea comes back up with it. Scrambling for hustle points. And that's how they've got to stay in the game tonight. Remember, Adroit still winless here in BCL Asia East. That opening game against New Taipei Kings, losing by 40 points. And losing even greater to High Tech here in this window. Muangbun able to get the three-pointer. Adroit looking again to cut down to single digits. Another three in the corner, count it! And it's now down to a 7-point deficit. Adroit refusing to throw the towel in early here in the third. And almost again, High Tech. Well, they're going to have to bring in Frederick Leash and Michael Singletary, because the backcourt looks way too unstable. Moses Morgan, I think Natakar Muangbun is going to go to the bench. Jesu finds Leash on the handoff. Mid-range is up and straight off the bench. Ice cold in the veins. Well, if he cooks like he did last night against New Taipei Kings when he had 25, they might have a chance. Nice passing. Premack getting the assist from his countryman. And that was probably the best build-up we've seen this evening, and maybe so far here in BCL Asia East from Adroit. And they've got to take inspiration from that play. Well, that's going to be a turnover. Lin Jae Shea just disrupting Freddie Leash. But here's where Adroit's got to capitalize. They've got to get something here. 3:38 to go in the third quarter. think Freddie Leach at that point knew it was inevitable. I think had he even left it, it was going to be an out-of-bounds violation. Well, now here comes the ball screen. Premack setting this one high. Lin J. Shea splits a defense. Well, the follow by Premack, and now it's down to 5 points. And there's where you talk about the second chance points. Somebody must relentlessly go in for the offensive rebounding. That 13-point lead has now been cut down to 5. High-Tech almost turning it over again. Remember, High-Tech's only victory here in BCL Asia East came against Adroit. Sudiev getting the rebound. Can Adroit make a run before going into the fourth quarter? Could they potentially take the lead? Still a two-possession ball game. Trying to go for the ISO, but the circus shot is good. And make that 8 points tonight for number 10, Jong Han Wong. Well, make it 6, excuse me. Does have 4 assists and 3 rebounds. And a timeout's going to be called by High-Tech. Inspiring run coming from the number 1 team from Singapore, who still are looking for their first victory here in BCL Asia East. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Bangkok, Thailand. FIBA Basketball Champions League Asia East. We call it the BCL Asia East. Live here in this Group B fixture. Windows 2 and 3 joint hosted by our 2 teams currently tonight. Adroit of Singapore and High-Tech of Thailand. And Jesu fakes the handoff. May have got away with a push-out, but he gets rejected by Ihor Sudiev. Well, no easy points in the paint tonight for Manny Jesu. He's only just checked in for the first time here in the second half. He does have 5, and it's another turnover. But Adroit turned it back over, and Jesu gets his revenge. Well, just when Adroit potentially had a possession to maybe tie it up with a three-pointer, they go and turn it back over. Lin J. Shea beats the hedge on the ball screen. Time 1 and down. Pump fakes, double clutches. Probably could have done better as Jesu secures the rebound. And now Singletary wants to run. Well, takes on the entire defense, but he's unable to get the ab one. But I think he'll go to the free throw line. Well, chance down for Michael Singletary. Of course, is the leading scorer for High-Tech here in BCL Asia East with over 20 points per game. Well, he has 5 tonight, but he's played minimal minutes, considering he did play last night. Because his biggest performance came in the opening game, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists against New Taipei Kings. That was back in Chinese Taipei only a week ago. Extending the lead back to 7, a 4-0 run coming from High-Tech. It's now under 2 minutes to go here in the third. John Han Wong, nice little penetration, uses the glass effectively. And that's what he's been shown to be good at so far here in this window. Almost like a slasher at the bucket. Leach pick and pop. Singletary pulls up from 20. Not going to get it. And Adroit again can cut it down to 3, maybe 2 if they go for a 3. Foul's called on Moses Morgan. team has got it going from the perimeter tonight. High Tech, only 18%, 4 out of 22. And if you look at Adroit, well, they're slightly better. There's 7 3-point field goals made. They're 7 out of 28, but the volume 3-point shooting has definitely been prevalent. Jongham Won finds Sodiev, unable to finish. Well, he's got to make that one. And another turnover. Well, this potentially could be a 2-for-1 for Adroit. Foul's going to be called. That's only the third team foul against High Tech. So sideline, was that a baseline possession? Yeah, baseline ball. Foul was called on Manny Ajesu. Jongham Won goes in, little Euro step, and again, this guy's confidence is now coming to play. Well, he's been a huge X factor here in the third quarter for Adroit. Only a 3-point ball game. But now Freddie Leash wants to go for the one-legged shot. Sodiev with a rebound. Adroit could tie it up if they make their 8th 3-pointer here in the game. But they turn it over. Oh, Ching Huang To just went out of control, and he gifted Freddie Leash with a wide-open layup. And the best they could do now, cut it down to 5. Or 3, excuse me, or cut it down to 2, depending what they get from this offense. Jongham Won picks up his dribble. There's the 3. 3 is up and almost got it. High Tech have a few seconds. Leash goes cross court. Final 3. Jaisik takes it. Got it! Big time 3. Sawadee-ka here in Bangkok, Thailand. And that's only the 5th 3 of the game for High Tech. Well, it's the end of the third quarter. We will be back in just under 2 minutes for the final 10. Welcome back, everybody, live here in Bangkok, Thailand. This is BCL Asia East Group B fixture. Windows 2 and 3, joint hosted by our 2 teams playing tonight, High Tech of Thailand and Adroit of Singapore. Well, if you're new to BCL Asia East, this is the pathway that will see the teams, well, 2 teams. A Singletary fakes the pass, goes in, a foul's going to be called. Now, I don't think that's going to be free throws, because he was actually passing the ball, I think. Oh, no. Well, my first reaction, I thought he was trying to dish off to Amani Watkins. Well, Singletary makes the first free throw. Of course, one of the most experienced players you're going to find here in BCL Asia East. Of course, magnificent player, played NCAA at Texas Tech. Started his pro career back in 2011 in Belgium, then went to Montenegro, played it briefly in the G League, but went to the Philippine Basketball Association, where he played with the former Barako Bull Energy Cola. Of course, then Singletary went to the Japanese B League in 2016 when he played for Osaka Vesa. A good defense by High Tech, now with a 10-point lead. Well, the final window will be in Mongolia. And if High Tech win tonight, that'll mean there'll be potentially 2 spots left for the Final Four in terms of who qualify, because both Tayu and Payan pilots as Singletary sinks the triple. The 3-time Plus League champion in 2021, 22 and 23 with the Taipei Fubon Braves. Because he also won the NBA G League championship when it was known as the D League back in 2013 when he played for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. Because you want to talk about Singletary's experience, he also played for one of the greatest teams here in East Asia, the San Miguel Beermen in the Philippine Basketball Association. Well, Singletary's 36 years young. I don't see him retiring anytime soon. Leash now goes in and puts it back to a 12-point lead. High Tech looking to close this game out. Well, excuse me, now puts it back to a 15-point lead. My apologies. That's how quickly they've turned this game around. Lin J. Shade, nice penetration, dishing off to Seti Primac. Because I think the thing for Adroit, you know, they've been, if you speak to Nang Han Bun, if you go back to that post-game press conference after that first defeat against New Taipei Kings, is Jai Sinek hitting another tray ball. Was the man who made the final 3-pointer at the end of the third quarter. But going back to Nang Han Bing, and of course, Adroit, they understand the level, but for them it's a learning curve. Building Singaporean basketball, getting it to that next level. Singletary, another 3. No foul called against Watkins. Well, this is where High Tech don't want to get too casual. Just keep on piling up the pressure. Singletary hesitation. Second 3 attempt. One offense not going to go. Rebound secured by Huang Qinghuang To, excuse me. And Primac getting the @1. And now he'll go to the charity stripe. He does very well, because as soon as he catches it, doesn't bring it down whatsoever. Because he started his career as a young fella with the second team of Spanish ACB powerhouse Gran Canaria. This was a part of their academy, then went back to play in his native, but also spent 1 season in 2017-18 playing in the Georgian Super League. And that was statistically his best professional season. 14-point deficit. Singletary trying to play bully basketball, goes in. This guy, too big, too strong, simply just too good. Ivan Lubis, are you watching, brother? Mike Singletary stepping it up a tempo here in the fourth quarter. Because going back to the BCL Asia East Final Four, still in Group A, it could either be Bishrod Metel or the infamous Pj Pelita Jaya of the Indonesian Basketball League. While here in Group B, I think a foul has been committed. Here in Group B, of course, if High Tech wins, well then, you know, destiny isn't quite in their hands, because they'll have to beat the Broncos by more than 4 points in Mongolia, but they'll also have to hope the Broncos lose all 3 games at home. Janatip Jakarwan, Thai national team player, played in both sets of windows in 2021 and 2025 of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Not quite sure what the discussion is now, but the referees, maybe something sorting out with the shot clock possibly. I think that's what it is. Well, if you look at this game statistically, I'd say Janatip Jakarwan may be the best player tonight here for High Tech. And that's going across all 4 quarters. He had 12 points in the first quarter. Well, he is their joint second leading scorer with Michael Singletary. Both players do have 14 points. Now Jakarwan 3 rebounds away from a double-double tonight. Premack now can cut it down. And it's back down to a 12-point deficit. He has 6 points already here in the fourth quarter for Adroit. Well, they go into the screen. Freddie Leash can't make them pay the 6 threes he had last night against New Taipei Kings. He's played minimal minutes, but hasn't had that fiery act from the three-point line. Lin J. Shea trying to take the defense himself. Premack goes in. Well, almost got the and one, but he'll go to the free throw line. And now, indeed, a chance to cut it down to 12. Well, he's got 14 points. Like Janitip Jakarwan, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Problem is he does also have 3 fouls. Well, he's been there probably one of the best players. He's averaged 10.5 points per game here in BCL Asia East. Because he did have 19 points the last time they played High Tech. Unfortunately, that night was 2 rebounds shy of a double-double, but they did lose by 48 points. He's got 15 tonight. Leading scorer for Adroit. Well, Jack Ryan almost turned it over. Moses Morgan left wide open. Premack gets his 8th rebound of the game. 2 away from that double-double. It's now Lin J. Shea. Goes baseline. Tough kick out. Now left wide open. He's made 1 3 tonight. Well, almost got it. Well, Sodiev battles for it with Premack. Ching Huang Ta goes in, inside layup, finishes under intense pressure. Offensively, he's had some good spells. It's the defense where he's been exploited against the backcourt of High Tech. And I'd say in the last 2 games, Adroit have played much better here in BCL Asia East. But Leash goes round, misses from point-blank range. Watkins. Well, they gave away 2 offensive boards, and finally Amani Watkins makes them pay. Ching Huang Ta throws this away. Jacarad comes up with it. Morgan finds Leash. Fires a 3, it's up, and again, good night to everybody here in Bangkok, Thailand. 16-point lead. Biggest lead of the game tonight for High Tech. And a win tonight just gives them further belief. Premack bumps, no foul called. 17, tonight for the big fella. Just needs 2 rebounds to get to that double-double. Problem for them is they will be going to. Foul's going to be called on the ground, so no free throws coming up here for Janitip Jakarwan. Well, change coming into the moment here for Adroit, so checking back into the game for them. It's number 10, Jong Han Wong, 12 points, 2nd leading scorer this evening for Adroit. And I think the impressive part here so far in this 3rd quarter run, they've done this without their best player, Alexander Kolchenko, the former Ukrainian national team player. Morgan now down the middle. Finds Jakarwat. Goes in, finishes. Now he's got 16. Another player close to a double-double this evening for High Tech. Well, it's been his best performance as well here in BCL Asia East. Now Premack wants to go up. Still by Jakarwat. Good defense. And now he wants to run. Well, Watkins with a seal-off in the paint. Goes in. It's just what? Misses. And you kind of felt their Adroit just conceded, giving away the 2 points. Now Lin J. Shea attacks the bucket, but misses the entire basket. Now here comes High Tech. Morgan's got Watkins, makes the dish off, and it's intercepted. It goes out of bounds. But they'll get it back on the baseline. Well, looks like Jaisenek's going to come back into the game here for High Tech, along with Debutant now is Kunarong Pratasarat, subbing in for the first time here. We saw the reaction from the home crowd. Definitely like to see the local players get in as Muang Bun still 3-pointless. Huge rebound by Sudiev. Of course, Kunarong Pratsetsarat. This is his first time featuring here in BCL Asia East. They lead by 16, now under 3:30. Jongham 1. Looking for the ISO, again hangs, too strong off the bank. And there's his first stat at BCL Asia East. Kunarong Pratsetsarat, standing at 189 centimeters. Of course, 19 years old and a wide open layup to Moses Morgan. And that kind of exemplifies how Adroit's defense has gone tonight. Jongham Rum forces up a Hail Mary 3. Well, the high arc in that 3-point almost looks like a very heavy negative parabola. If you love mathematics, you'll know what I'm talking about. Morgan now looking for an ISO. Spins, fade away, mid-range. Simply automatic by Moses Morgan. Finding a bit of rhythm here in the fourth quarter. Well, he's had his inconsistencies so far, but tonight he does indeed have 14 points. That's going to be a kickball violation now with under 2:20 to go in the fourth quarter. High Tech look like they're going to live to fight another day. And that day will indeed be the fifth and final window of BCL Asia East, where they will have to win against the Broncos by more than 4 points. And then they'll have to hope that both Adroit and New Taipei Kings defeat the Broncos. Remember, Broncos the only undefeated team here in BCL Asia East. The only teams that have solidified their tickets to the BCL Asia East Final Four are the two from Chinese Taipei, from the Plus League and the TPBL. Well, another change coming in here for High Tech is now Anasawi Clay Narong. He's played 6 minutes so far this evening. Only has 2 rebounds. It's now Jongham Wong at the free throw line for Adroit. He's just able to get the free throw to drop, and they've only missed 3 free throws this evening. They're now 9 for 12. Or 8 for 11, I should say, excuse me. Well, there's a 4th missed free throw and an offensive rebound by Nakib Borhan. Adroit, you got to play for pride. Just play to the end. Well, nice little scoop step and another foul, so another trip to the free throw line for him. Well, you got to like the flair he brings to this game. His confidence can be quite terrifying because, you know, he's never afraid to take on anybody from the backcourt. 4 rebounds along with his 13 points tonight. 6 out of 14 from the field tonight for Jongham Won. Second free throw good. Adroit, remember, they were within 2 points in the third quarter. But High Tech, with much greater depth in their lineup, and I mean that respectfully against Adroit, been able to win this one. But give them credit, they almost won last night against New Taipei Kings, and they led for the majority of the game. Sudiev stopping the ball from going out of bounds. Lin Jae-Shea trying to find Jongham Wong. Another foul is going to be called against High Tech. Oh no, it's an offensive foul against Nakib Borhan. So High Tech will get it back. Well, now with just over 90 seconds, Lin Jae-Shea trying to intercept the pass from Jaisenik. Well, from Muang Bun going to Jaisenik. But High Tech will get it back on the sideline. Well, it's got to be mentally exhausting, High Tech, knowing they probably should have won against New Taipei Kings. But credit to head coach Ryan Marchand and his players. It just took a little bit of time after the frustrating performance against Adroit. But every great team goes through a battle. Muang Bun still can't get the threes to drop, but the victory for New Taipei Kings last night does ensure them they will be going to the BCL Asia East Final Four. And Jay Shea, nice hesitation. Not the first time he's done that this evening, but the kick out in the corner was just a little too predictable, trying to find Jong Han Wong. 1:13 to go here in the fourth quarter. Baseline ball here to Adroit. Well, Cheng Huang Todd subbing back into the game for Adroit. Goes 9 points tonight for him. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. So 3 just won't go. Well, here we go. Can he get his first 2 points? And he knew the home crowd really wanted to see that one, the young fella. Well, it's always great when a new young player makes their debut. The debutant tonight here for Kunarong Pratetsrat. High-Tech lead by 17. And welcome to the BCL Asia East. The young fella, Kunarong Pratetsrat. His first 2 points here in windows 2 and 3. Nice penetration by Lin J. Shea, but it's going to be all a consolation at the moment for Adroit. High-Tech are going to pick up the second win. And indeed, it's against Adroit for a second time. Well, he's feeling confidence. Doesn't turn it over. Well, again, can he go to 4 points? But he doesn't get the right angle off the bank. 5 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but Jong Han won. Looked like he had a wide open layup, but I'm not quite sure what he tried to do. Well, Natakam Muambong showing the sportsmanship. Not going to go for a final shot. Understanding that they live to fight another day. And I think Natakam Muambong's asking Jong Han Won, what happened there? I didn't do anything defensively, but it's all over. High-Tech win for the second time here in BCL Asia East. They defeat Adroit 96-79. Well, so many players from High-Tech that we could have chosen to be the player of the game. They were led by Freddie Leash. 18 points this evening. 3 out of 6 from the perimeter. But I think the player of the game award, it's only right. With 8 rebounds, 16 points. Thailand's national team center, Janatip Jakarwan, number 13. He was 7 out of 9 from the field tonight. Didn't take a three-pointer. Wilson had 0 turnovers. Well, he was the most efficient player tonight here for High-Tech. So we will get a post-game interview with the player of the game. And that is indeed number 13 for High-Tech, Janatip Jakarwan, also of the Thai national team. Well, Moses Morgan finished at 14. He was 7 out of 10 from the field, 5 rebounds and 6 assists away from a triple-double, something that hasn't been achieved by any players so far here in BCL Asia East. Because Mike Singletary does average 21 points per game here in the BCL Asia East. Well, he finished at 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 14 points, but he did play minimal minutes. 21 was the exact amount of time he played on the floor tonight. Manny Ajesu as well only came in the second half. He had 7 points and finished with 3 rebounds. Well, Adroit, I guess a positive for them. 4 players in double figures. Locky Autor with 11. Alexander Kolchenko, their best player, had 10. Jong Han Won, 15. He was the second leading scorer, but it was the Ukrainian international, Sergei Primak, who finished with 17. And he, like Jakarwan, was 2 rebounds away shy of a double-double. Well, interesting. Igor Sudiev had 4 points and 14 rebounds, 3 of them offensive. And he indeed, along with Sergei Primak, the most efficient players tonight here for Adroit. But it will be High-Tech, as mentioned, who live to fight another day. And that day will be in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, for the 5th and final window of BCL Asia East. High-Tech know they've got to beat the Broncos by, well, the undefeated Broncos. Well, here's Janatip Jakarwan, the player of the game.
Okay, we're here with the player of the game, with High-Tech winning 96-79. Janatip Jakarwan, 16 points, 8 rebounds. First of all, your thoughts on the game? ก็ความเห็นของเกมวันนี้ครับน้องโอม
ก็วันนี้เราก็ทำกันได้เต็มที่นะครับนอกจากเกมเมื่อวานเราก็หนักมาด้วยเนาะแล้ววันนี้เราก็เรียกฟอร์มคืนมาได้เหมือนกันครับก็ถือว่าทุกคนทำได้ดีครับ
So Shanatip said that it was a great rebound game for them after a tough game yesterday. So good to see that his team came back today. A little bit about the fans. This is the last home game. You've had a good amount of fans here, the games throughout the week. What can you say about the fans?
ขอบคุณแฟนๆนะครับที่มาเชียร์วันนี้เพราะว่าไม่คิดเลยว่าทุกคนจะมาเชียร์เราเยอะขนาดนี้ตั้งแต่ต้นเกมแล้วจนถึงเกมวันนี้ที่ไทยเป็นเกมสุดท้ายครับก็ขอบคุณแฟนๆที่มาเชียร์พวกเราครับ
All right, so Shanatip said that he'd like to thank the fans. He didn't expect such a big crowd throughout the entire week, but was happy to see it, and that's why they were able to play so hard through this entire week. So thank you very much once again.
Well, Shanatip Chakrawan, as mentioned, the player of the game, 2 steals, 1 block to go with his near double-double numbers of 8 rebounds and 16 points. A big shout-out to TK, the man who led the interview tonight, who's been writing some great features here on BCL Asia. Well, there you have it. Windows 2 and 3 joint hosted by both Adroit and High Tech Basketball Club. Well, we've seen some great games. Broncos, they came here with 2 wins, remaining undefeated. While New Taipei Kings picking up 2 victories as well, booking their tickets to the BCL Asia East Final Four. But for now, basketball fans, we'll leave you with the stats and the highlights. But don't go anywhere. We have the post-game press conferences where we'll meet with both coaches and key players. For now, it's good night for me, Josh Bett. I'll see you all in Mongolia for the 5th and final window until we go to the Final Four of the BCL Asia East. Thanks for joining, and stick around for the post-game press conferences.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post-game press conference for the Basketball Champions League with High Tech winning 88-74. Right now we have Adroit on the stand. We have Coach Eung Shun Hong and Eldrin from Adroit. First of all, a quick comment from both of you. Let's start with Eldrin first.
I think as a team we did well. We stuck close for most of the game, and then towards the end they pulled away, but I think for the majority of the game we did a good job sticking close to them.
Okay. In the previous games, Coach had mentioned that you guys set a target of wanting to score more than 50 points in the previous game, and now you've scored more. This is the highest points you've scored throughout BCL Asia so far. Can you say a little bit about the development that you guys have been through, the improvements you've gone throughout these few games?
Obviously defense is very tough. Even let alone the imports, even the locals, they're all bigger, stronger, faster. But I think maybe the one switch, at least for me personally, was not being so hesitant. You know, when the shot comes around, if you open, you have to take it. If not, it ruins the flow of the offense.
For you, Eldrin, you are a bit on the younger side of the team. You're on a team full of veterans. Can you say a little bit of how much you've learned playing with those guys that have played in the international stage?
Yeah, so most of the guys are my seniors. So definitely every game, every tournament, pick up different stuff from them. You know, how their outlook on the game, how they get ready for the games. And also in international tournaments like this when we have imports, it's also interesting to learn from them, their perspective.
Coach, can you just give one quick comment about this game or this tournament in general?
Okay, I think we need a lot of rebound. We reach by rebound and we are shorter than them. I think we want to go further. We must form the professional team in future. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. This is the end of the first part of the press conference. We will be back soon with High Tech. Thank you, Adroit. Welcome back to the second part of the post-game press conference. We now have with us High Tech. First of all, congratulations for the win, 96-79. We have Coach Pachakon Lit Laokun and Chanatip Chakrawan on the stage. First of all, Coach, your thoughts on the game. ก็ความเห็นของโค้ชแก้วสำหรับเกมนี้ครับ
มันเป็นเกมที่เราสตาร์ทไม่ได้ดีเหมือนว่านักกีฬาที่แข่งจากเมื่อวานมันมีความเหนื่อยล้ามีนักกีฬาบางคนบาดเจ็บมันก็ทำให้เราสตาร์ทในเกมวันนี้คือแบบไม่ดีเท่าไหร่เท่าที่ควรที่มันจะเป็นในรูปแบบของทีมของเราครับมันก็เลยทำให้เกมมันสูสีแบบมันไม่น่าจะเกิดขึ้นครับประมาณนี้
So coach said that we didn't start well. There were players that played yesterday that were tired and had some injuries, so they didn't start as well as they should have, and that's why the game was closer than it should have been. Om ครับ your comments on the game as well ก็ความเห็นของโอมสำหรับเกมนี้เช่นเดียวกันครับ
ก็เกมนี้ถือว่าส่วนตัวทำได้ดีกว่าเกมที่ผ่านๆมาครับเนื่องจากว่าผู้เล่นของเขาเนี่ยเป็นผู้เล่นที่ตัวเล็กและเขาไม่มีเซนเตอร์นะครับก็ถือว่าทำได้ดีในวันนี้ครับผม
Okay, so Om said that they were able to do a bit better than the past games because Adroit were a bit smaller and he took the advantage in that there. A few quick questions here. You've played, starting from Om first, you played four games here at home. Again, having a lot of fans here. Can you say a little bit about how important the fans have been to your efforts and playing in this home stretch? ก็อย่างที่ถามไปแล้วครับว่าแฟนๆมีเอฟเฟกต์กับเรามากน้อยขนาดไหนทำให้เล่นเป็นยังไงกับการเล่นรอบนี้ครับ
ก็แฟนๆที่มาเชียร์นะครับก็มีผลต่อเกมมากครับเพราะว่าแบบไม่มีเสียงเชียร์อะไรอย่างเงี้ยเราก็ไม่มีกำลังใจนะครับก็ต้องขอบคุณแฟนๆที่ติดตามสโมสรไฮเทคนะครับแล้วก็มาให้กำลังใจอยู่ตลอดทุกเกมที่ผ่านๆมาครับก็ขอบคุณมากครับ
Okay, so Om said that they had a great effect on the way that they played. He wants to thank everyone for coming out to cheer each and every game and for their unwavering support for the High Tech Basketball Club. Another question, last one here. You have one more game left in Mongolia and it's going to be an important one. What will you say would be your emphasis for that upcoming game, starting with you, Coach? ก็สิ่งที่เดี๋ยวจะเหลืออีกหนึ่งเกมที่มองโกเลียสิ่งที่สำคัญที่อยากจะย้ำกับทีมคือเรื่องไหนครับ
ก็ต้องเปิดเกมให้ดีครับเปิดเกมให้ดี more effort ให้มันดีกว่านี้แล้วก็การป้องกันของเราแล้วก็เราก็จะต้องเน้นไปเรื่องจุดได้เปรียบของเราว่าเราจะได้เปรียบตรงไหนทำให้มันดีกว่านี้ดีเทลเล็กๆน้อยๆข้อผิดพลาดก็จะให้พลาดน้อยที่สุดถึงจะชนะเกมมองโกเลียได้
Coach Gal said that in order to win that last important game they needed to start the games better they needed to put more effort especially on defense to use the advantages that they have and just take care of the small details ก็เช่นเดียวกันกับโอม same question to you Om but more as a perspective of a player ก็คือคำถามเดียวกันแต่มุมมองของการผู้เล่นครับ
ครับเราก็ควรจะกลับไปดูเทปการแข่งขันที่เราผิดพลาดนะครับแล้วก็นำมาปรับปรุงแก้ไขเพราะตอนนี้เรายังมีเวลาซ้อมอีกไม่กี่วันนะครับเราก็จะดูความผิดพลาดแล้วก็ไปแก้ไขในเกมต่อไปแล้วเราก็หวังว่าเราจะสามารถเอาชนะเกมสุดท้ายของเรานี้ได้ครับ
Okay, so Om said that from a player's perspective, right now they just have to go back to the tapes, go into that video room, and they only have a few days to fix that. They really hope that they can come back, fix those mistakes, and come away with the final win. So thank you very much, Coach Lut Lakun. Thank you very much, Chanatip. The post-game press conference is officially over, and we are done here with Bangkok. Thank you very much.
ขอบคุณครับ